Folks, welcome to Best Stock Charts for the coming week. This is where we do a quick hit rundown of the symbols that we're watching for the coming week. We'll talk a bit about our positions, what we did last week, how do we perform. But before we get to it, as a reminder, we are now doing Sunday Night Futures live. It's a live stream on YouTube. So below in the description area, you'll find a link to join us this evening, being Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be taking some stock chart requests, so join early, pop in those symbols, and I'll take as many as possible. We're going to go for about an hour tonight because there's a lot to cover. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and to get notified of when we go live, please click the subscribe button on YouTube and hit that bell button. You'll get notified of when we go live. Unfortunately, I think you get an email about 5 minutes after we go live, unless, of course, you're on YouTube, and I believe you get a pop-up on your screen. So let's get to it. Hope to see you tonight. Let's get to it. Last week, we did very well. Our NUGT trade, which we added more to the week prior on the devastating sell-off here, the week of the 9th, we added more when nobody else wanted it, as we typically do. And we saw the shares of NUGT rally last week, 23.25% on the week. We closed out the week at the highs of the week. We recaptured a support level. We'll look to see whether or not we get a continuation move higher this week, or do we retest and challenge support yet again. And I will be looking to add more to the NUGT trade. And of course, we send out alerts on the buy and on the sell for all trades that we do. Another position that we reopened the position after taking profits a few weeks ago. We reopened the position here. Again, the same with NUGT, same strategy. We bought at support using weekly, monthly charts with an expectation that this was a short-term pullback and the assumption that we would expect to see a defense of the support level. Sure enough, we got that support. We popped up higher last week, and we added more on, I believe it was Thursday or Friday. I think it was Friday that we added more to the position. So USLV up nearly 8.5% last week. So a very solid week. And these two trades, USLV and NUGT, are core positions, meaning they are long-term trades where they are concentrated. It's a macro bet that the conditions here, meaning the lack of GDP growth, driven by the huge amounts of debt that we incur every single day, and the fact that you have inflation on the rise, which the Federal Reserve will not admit to, that will create stagflation. And that is the perfect environment for gold and silver to rally. And with the Federal Reserve having begun a new round of QE already, although it's not announced, the wheels are now in motion for the bull market in these two names to begin. If you're not exposed to these names longer term, you are missing out on a train that's leaving the station very, very quickly. Now, let's move on to the trades that we're looking to put on for the coming week. Housing. This is the HGX, the housing index. We're not going to buy the index. I do have a leveraged ETF that we are looking at, but we did break out last week. We're expecting that the decline in interest rates will continue the move higher in housing. So what we're looking at to get long of the housing sector is the ITB weekly chart. You can see that we are moving higher here. Now tonight on Stock Market Futures, I'm going to go over these charts yet again, but however, I'm going to discuss support and resistance levels, where we want to get involved with them using TrendSpider. TrendSpider is the next generation of automated technical analysis. You can use the link below, get a 25% discount using CT25Z as your discount code. Again, CT25Z, and you can join along with me as I create those alerts this evening. So we have had a really good run here. We're a bit extended. That doesn't mean we can't move higher. We had an inverted head and shoulders setup, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We have clearly broken the neckline, and the train in this case has already left the station. We don't want to chase it. We're looking for the pullback here, and we will discuss that throughout the week with members of as to when we think the setup is right to go opening a position on the ITB. And again, it's the iShares U.S. Home Construction ETF, giving you exposure to the home building sector. We're also looking at the utility sector. And the utility sector is breaking out, or has broken out, of a bull flag setup. And in this current environment where you have yields which were being manipulated artificially low by the Federal Reserve, it's a perfect environment for utilities. Now, the UTSL is a leveraged ETF. Not for the faint of heart if you are risk adverse. That's fine. The XLU is for you if you don't want the risk. So we'll be discussing UTSL tonight, our strategy for entry. So please join us. Again, click that link below, click the subscribe button, and click the bell button to get notified of when we go live. Now, the IWC. These are the micro caps. The micro caps, while on a weekly basis, closed down. And in fact, they gave up weekly support. They had broken out the week prior, and they gave up that support level last week. That's a breakout point failure. So relatively bearish. Now, I believe that they're probably going to pop the micro caps higher early next week. Why? News is favorable. The China trade talks back on. It happened yesterday. 2, we held support. And 3, on Friday, the IWC showed relative strength versus the large caps by closing higher. So again, we'll be talking about the IWC tonight and our strategy for the new coming week. The next chart up is the EWW. This puts you long of Mexico. This chart is firming up very nicely. Monthly view, not ready to be bought yet, but very, very close. We're seeing a breakout on RSI, Stokes, higher lows, and probably going to break out here fairly soon. On the month, we are up 5.35%. However, we do have a bit of resistance above. So while we may not go opening a position this week, in all probability, in the next couple of weeks, we will be long. And again, we will send out an alert to members. And that is it for best stock charts this week, folks. Please, again, join us tonight on the live stream. I will be taking requests. Members get primary. I'll send out a code to them. So if you want to take the 14-day free trial offer, there'll be a code that I use to identify members. Their chart requests, of course, are primary. And I'll get to as many non-member symbols as well to drive engagement with the audience. So that's what I really want, is engagement with the audience. If you have any questions, please pop them into the chat box when we're live. If I know the answers, I will answer it. If I don't know the answer, I'm not going to try to BS you. I'll say I don't know, and I'll try to get the answer. If you got any value out of this video, if you have any questions, please leave a comment below, share with a friend, click the like button, and of course, click that notification bell. Everybody have a great remainder of your weekend and a profitable trading week. Be well.